You little whippersnappers don't know how to do nothing.
You don't know
It's
how
like-
to work 40 hours a week and be able to pay for a car and a house and three kids and a wife. You
as
know
well
that.
as supporting another secret family down the road that you're keeping from your wife. Hey guys, welcome back to the TnT podcast, where the conversations are random and the laughter is explosive. Today it's just me and Trevor as usual, and we're gonna be talking about what it's like making friends as you get older, because it's a little difficult. I mean, he and I have been friends for 10 plus years now,
Yep.
and I don't think that one's going anywhere, at least not for a while. But
Nope. Until
the
one of us kills
downside
each other.
is pretty much the downside is that I have like, I don't know, maybe 5 people I'd consider friends outside of him, and just making new friends isn't a huge priority to me, but also like it's just weird in the way that I feel like it's weird in the way that I meet people that like maybe it's me mainly that I'm like I distance myself from people.
Well, and it's also harder
Like
when
on a personal level.
you're an adult too, because you don't have as much free time to just,
Yeah.
go and do whatever you want. So,
Yeah.
like, when we were younger, we didn't have a job really and could just come over and, have a double weekend or whatever
Yeah.
and just go and do whatever we wanted pretty much. I mean, not like money wise, but just going and doing stuff, playing games sometimes, or there wasn't a
Yep.
restriction. Whereas now, especially the activities that you get into more as you're an adult usually cost money. First
Yep.
off, but like, I don't know, it just kind of feels not the same. Like you couldn't,
Yeah.
like when you were a kid, you go somewhere random or go to a camp or something and just find like a couple of other kids that you just kind of vibe with.
Yep.
Versus now it's almost like you're more, and by your, I mean us, like just people in
Yeah.
general, not you specifically, are almost like more protective or more, there's more thought behind like who you want to spend time with, because
Yeah.
the
Well, and I
time
think
is
part of that,
the time is more valuable. It's worth
I think part
more.
of that is that you don't want to spend a bunch of time on one person who may or may not actually add value to your life.
Yeah. I had a number of those.
It's like, I could hang out with you, or I could work, or I could do this other side project that I'm trying to get off the ground or whatever, or I could just go home and do something that I know that I'll enjoy.
Yep.
Like play video games with friends or talk to whoever or whatever. And so like feel like you're a little bit more protective of your time. At least I feel like I am.
Yeah.
Because I work and then I come home and a lot of times just don't really want to go do anything else, which is like exactly opposite of the way that I used to be. Because it used to be like when I was younger, I hated being home. And like I'm only 23 now, but like
Yeah.
I hated being home. I wanted to be out doing something. I wanted to, go to youth group, or I wanted to go do stuff with you or any one of our other friends who have now become not part of our friend group, and now it's just us remaining. But and it's like I I hated not doing something, and part of that was because I struggled with depression, and it was just a way for me to keep moving and keep doing something to keep my mind off of
Yeah.
other
And
things, but
escape.
and escape. But then now it's like, I have I have a couple people that I would consider friends at work now. Um, but it's very much like, hey, we're friends here, and I might see one or two of you outside of work, but not very often.
Yeah.
And it's like not that I wouldn't hang out with any of them more. It's just that like everyone's too busy and too worried about the future to even, you know, uh bother with having fun. Like I feel like socializing nowadays is just a chore more than anything, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, especially since like, because like when you're a kid, you also don't really care as much about the thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
One, because you have way more time and your time is really not that valuable then, um, because you just have so much of it. But
Well,
also,
it's very valuable. You just don't see how valuable it is until you get older.
well, yes, I mean, it's you don't consider it valuable then because you have so much of it. And then you don't realize, oh, I had all this time before. I don't have that anymore.
Yep.
And now it sucks. Um, but like also when you were a kid, you didn't usually have as much care about the things that you considered to be fun. So like
Yeah.
if it was just going over and playing with Legos or a Hot Wheels set or something, like a bunch of things that you could at the, at the time consider to be fun, or just running around doing nothing.
Making blow dart guns with 16 penny nails and rolled up
Yeah.
paper and shooting your friends in the legs with them. Yeah.
Versus, now it's like, huh, I don't really find this very fun. And trying to not only do that, but have a friend group that all enjoys doing some things together,
Yep.
because like it's really difficult when everyone has a very diversified, enjoyment of things. And
Mm-hmm.
one person enjoys going to a concert and the other one really doesn't enjoy doing that at all. And the other person's kind of in between, but is usually just like, meh. And you have all these conflicts and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
that's just with, 3 or 4 people, not even a
Yeah.
bigger group or anything. And so, like, even just with 2 people, it's hard to find something that you both want to go and do and can make the time for,
Yeah.
with
And
2
are
different
willing to
work
make the time
schedules.
for.
Yeah.
What amount of time am I willing to sacrifice to go spend with my friend?
Yep. Yep. That was
Yeah,
very
it's
liquidy sounding.
but like yeah, I used to back when I used to live in Beaver Creek, I'd walk up the road just about every day and hang out with uh Kylie and her sisters, or Joseph or Jaden, or uh well, mainly them. There's also Nolan, who is Joseph's best friend, but he and I got in a fight at one of my birthday parties. Uh and then never really, I don't think we ever really talked again after that. Um
Yep.
he was a little entitled brat, I'll say that. Um and but like I would spend all the time up there, even like right after you and I got our licenses or whatever. Like I'd come out to your guys' place, or you'd come over to ours, or we'd
Yeah.
go do stuff.
Well, and you had your license a year before me.
Yep.
approximately.
Yeah,
Although
something like that.
I thought you had your learner's
No,
permit for longer though.
I had my learner's permit a year before you. We got our licenses about the same time.
Yeah, because you had it for like almost a whole other year versus I only
Yeah,
had my learner's permit
yeah,
for a couple of
because
months. It wasn't that long.
n- not that it kept me from driving, but it's not that I couldn't drive. It's just that I was trying to save up money and go through like the driving with Ed or whatever bullcrap,
Yeah.
so that I could get
Yeah.
better insurance because I was working at a grocery store on minimum wage salary and wanted to spend as little on insurance as possible.
Yeah. What a joke that is.
Yeah, and so I went through that course, which was just a total waste of time
Yeah.
because I had already been driving for a year by the time I went through this course. So by the time that I got in, there's a bunch of these kids who have like been behind the wheel maybe once at this point. And
Yeah.
so they're asking all these questions and I'm like, "Bro, it's this or this or this." And like
They're like, huh?
like even as far as road rules, like I was riding bikes up and down the road out
Yeah.
where I lived, like miles out. And so like, I need to stop saying like. Uh, so I was riding all over Beaver Creek, um, down through the canyon, down past Miss Crippen's house,
hmm
uh, and uh, so I already had some road experience due to the fact that my bike was my only way of transportation there for a while, or my only somewhat more efficient way of transportation.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just kind of funny because it was like, was I like this? Now, to be fair, there were some dumb people, and even a few years ago, people my age were had a bit less common sense than I feel that they should have.
Yeah.
But
Although, as I think both of us got older, we soon realized it wasn't specific to our generation, to say the least.
no, no,
In
I
fact,
definitely
it's
know a
almost
lot
the
of older
opposite.
people. I wouldn't say the opposite, but I would say that the numbers are inflated. Like,
Yeah.
old people like to say that,
You
young people
youngins
don't
don't
know this.
know
Yeah,
what hard work is, or you don't know all
you little
this.
whippersnappers don't know how to do nothing.
You don't
And
know
it's
how to
like,
work 40 hours a week and be able to pay for a car and a house and 3 kids and a wife. Y'all don't know. It's like,
as
yeah,
well
we
as
don't. We
supporting,
won't
as,
ever
as
know
well as
that.
supporting another secret family down the road that you're keeping from your wife because you knocked up some other lady.
Yeah.
Like,
Being
yeah,
able to do that
it's
on a regular factory salary.
yeah, on like a slightly above minimum wage. That it's crazy because
Yeah.
I've worked jobs that are well over minimum wage,
You don't know. I
and
paid for my first house to be built. It was all of $13,000.
yeah, and even being tight on your money. Well, like my granddad bought his place, I think, for like $8,000 from my great granddad.
Yeah.
The place that was out behind where we used to live.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think my dad said that my granddad paid
And that
eight
was
thousand for it,
how many years
and that
ago?
was back in the '60s. Yeah, I think mid '60s. Um, but man, I wish I could do that. $8,000. I already have a freaking down payment saved up right now. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, by adjusting for inflation, that's still only $83,000 today. So basically
yeah,
a new pickup,
yeah,
like brand new pickup,
yep.
compared to that property now is worth
Oh, it's a
probably,
half mil property.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I don't know exactly how much land it has, but I was gonna say around like the $400,000 to $500,000 range, just because
It's
of
got
how
about
crazy Oregon
th-
is.
it's got about 3.5 acres.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep, 3.5 acres. I don't know how big the house was. Probably I don't know, probably yeah, I'm not even gonna guess. I don't really know.
Yeah,
Plus
it's
there's
crazy.
my granddad did a bunch of add-ons, plus added a garage and everything. So
Yeah, really the only thing
plus
that it's
there's a shop outside. There's a pump house in the back with like all their canned goods.
yeah, the only thing it's
There's
really missing
a
is a
couple
bit more
sheds.
modern infrastructure, but also you could just get
Yeah,
Starlink
yeah.
if
I
you needed
mean,
higher speed internet,
yeah.
because
It's
it's really not that expensive when you
yeah,
compare it
it's
to
a
other
nice
options.
property. Like it would have been dope to be able to keep it, although that house was getting to a point I feel like where it was needing a good bit of repairs. Because
His house or
my
the one that you were living in?
his
Oh,
um because my great granddad built the house and uh basically he'd take parts from different houses and reuse them for to keep down the cost of supplies, but sometimes that didn't give the best quality.
so he was like a like kind of did similar line of work that my dad does, and so
Yeah,
off of other
yeah,
people's
kind of.
houses that like I mean, there's nothing wrong with that if it's
If
done
it's done
smart.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
which
don't
like
think my granddad did it right.
that's kind of the key part about it. Like, oh, this 2 foot long 2x4, let me splice it with four more of the same size two
Yeah,
by fours to
yep,
make, an 8 foot or whatever. And it's like, okay, that it doesn't work like that because that's not how wood is strong in a house.
mm-mm.
But also, like, there's a lot of things that can be salvaged. Been a bunch of homes that I've worked on where we like ripped out a window or a door. Doors are a big one that my dad's
Yep.
reused a lot
Oh
because
yeah.
a lot of the doors themselves are fine. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
casing is rotten or whatever. And so usually when most people want to do that, they'll just buy a whole new door and casing. But the door
Yep.
itself is fine. So you just go buy a casing
Yep.
or make one. And then,
Yep.
you got a steel frame door with a window in it, which is normally like, $800 to $900 door
Yep.
for free. That was actually the steel door on the addition at the place for my grandma
Yep.
that he built. That was off of actually one of the church friends' house that I went over
Yep.
and helped. And I was like, huh, that door looks really familiar, but it had been repainted. It was like a bright blue, and he repainted it to like white or something that wasn't
Yeah.
so striking against the the off
The
white.
bland colors of the house.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but a lot of those, like, I think both of the front doors on the old house were repurposed. Those really nice, all real wood decorative doors that are
Yeah.
a couple grand,
Yeah.
which is insane to me. But
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, this other guy, he was like, it's a little bit beat up, but there's nothing wrong with it. I'll use it,
I
clean it up
mean,
a little
and
bit.
even if you really want to, you can just refinish it too.
Yeah, that's the beauty of a real wood
Yep.
something
You
is
can
you can
sand it down.
actually fix it.
You can,
It's not
go back
pressboard or
over it
hollow,
with uh
like
some
stain.
sort of stain.
Yeah.
You can put some like gloss, like clear coat over it.
Yeah. There's a couple of people that I'll watch once in a while of taking some old dresser or whatever
Yep.
and restoring it, because a lot of older furniture and stuff is actually real wood and
Yeah, well, and
actual
it's high
craftsmanship
quality
too.
and will survive a freaking earthquake.
Yeah. Well, like the dresser that I
Or
picked up for free, remember
yeah,
the purple dresser?
yeah, oh yeah,
They had it out there in the front, one of the front pieces of the drawers was not on correctly. And I was
yep,
like, that's kind of weird. And so I'm looking at it and it's just dovetails. There's no fasteners or
yep,
anything. It's all just dovetailed together. And so I'm
yep.
like, why don't I just pull the two sides apart and put the front piece back in and just kind of tapped
Mm-hmm.
into place, boom, fixed like that. And there was
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with it other than it had a weird, like major crack on the top piece of wood. I think,
Yeah,
that piece was really green when it was made. And so it shrunk a lot and split. But other
yep,
than that, for free on the side of the road, nothing wrong with it. A little
yep,
dinged up, but if it's free and, I didn't have a dresser, so my clothes all
yeah,
resided in bags at the time. It's like, why not reuse that? Which is another thing that pisses me off about some people is they're super adamant about not getting used things. Like,
yep. It's
like my grandma is kind of
you can
that
save
way.
so much money doing that.
Yeah, my grandma was kind of that way. My mom is kind of that way a little bit, but also I don't know how much of it is just ignorance of not wanting to learn how to use technology from my grandma, or if it's
Yeah.
actually like a disdain from buying used things. I don't
Well,
really
I
know.
mean,
I think it's part of both, honestly.
I think people get used to a certain way of life, like your grandmother, and are not willing to
Yeah.
give it up for
Yeah.
the sake of her dwindling bank account.
I know.
Um,
I know.
but like what? I have so much, even just here on the desk. I think the only thing that I have on my desk right now that is brand new as far as tech stuff goes is my Go XLR Mini. Was no, that
No, that
was
was used
even
as well.
refurbished. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was used. Okay, so the only thing that I have right here on my
It was an
desk
Amazon
that
return, so it was probably barely used, but yeah.
yeah, the only things that I have on my desk are the little DJI mics that I have right here and my uh Rode NT1
Yeah.
mic. Aside from that, I don't think anything else. Oh, and my headphones, I guess, because I wanted to actually have a
Technically the
nice
mic
pair of
arm too, but that
headphones.
mic arm's mine. So
Well, yeah,
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 that one's brand new.
but as far as what I own here on this desk, most of what I have is used and it works great. Oh, I guess my mouse is brand new too.
Yeah.
But like this desk that I have, was a return to Amazon. This sitting standing desk.
Yeah. My desk,
My computer,
the frame was brand new, but the desktop
yeah,
is again a door, a
yep,
repurposed solid core door, which is heavy as hell, but it gives a great surface to clamp things to, which I really like.
yep.
So it's not super thin or
And it doesn't
anything.
flex like crazy.
And it does not move. It is heavy.
Yep.
It is sturdy as hell.
Trust me, I know.
Not fun to move. It's
No,
not
it's
fun to
not.
move at all. But for a desk, it's like a freaking battle station. You can't move it.
Yep. Like even my computer, like the last three iterations of the same computer that's been in this case, plus my old computer, that stuff was all used by multiple people.
Yeah.
The I finally upgraded my, CPU, RAM, and uh, motherboard, and well, I guess now my
Power
power
supply.
supply.
Yeah.
But like the last two computers that I've had have been the last three computers that I've had have been used.
All of my computers, other than I even think my other HP Envy laptop was an Amazon return. And all my previous computers, other than the one that is now built and has been built for
Yep.
a while, is brand new. But
Yeah.
Everything previous was used, which is fine. Like there's
And
nothing
it's
wrong
like,
with used things. You take
out
a
of all
bit
the
of a risk,
stuff that
but
I've
you save a
gotten,
lot of money.
yeah, like out of all the stuff that I have, I've probably saved at least $1,000 as far as just what's
Oh,
here
yeah.
at my computer desk.
Yep.
And like that's not even accounting for all the other stuff that I tend to just look around and find used, because you can get it for even, let's say, only $50 cheaper. A lot of times you can find it cheaper than that, for
Yeah.
depending on the product. But
Well, and there's a lot of things that I wouldn't buy used just
yeah,
because they're more delicate pieces of equipment, or like a motherboard. I would not buy a motherboard
yeah,
used. A CPU, I'd be fine buying a CPU used. They have a very low failure rate by comparison to
especially like an
motherboards.
AM5.
Yeah, anything like that, I'd be fine buying used. I'd probably want to see if I can test it in some way,
Yeah.
but uh most things you're going to be fine. And especially furniture. Furniture is a big one that I feel like
Yep.
so many people spend way too much money on.
That's the
And
thing, is half the time people are just giving it away because they're moving and stuff too. Like
yeah, or
you
they
can
are
find couches that are
downsizing.
in decent condition that,
Yeah.
you know,
And the older the
just you
couch,
just
the
need to.
better.
Yep.
That's what it is, because the
Yeah.
newer furniture is like, other than power seats, which I will admit is nice to have because it locks in the position you set it in, which is
Yeah.
something I really like about it. And a power headrest is also really nice.
Yeah.
Other than that, there is not really any creature comfort out of a newer couch. Like even like the chilled cup holders or heated cup holders, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to get use out of it. Plus, they're
No.
always a stupid, weird size where it's either really
Yep.
big for a can of soda, but then doesn't fit, another container. A wireless charging pad, I can just
Yeah.
buy one for much
Yeah.
cheaper
Well,
and set it
and the
wherever I
wireless
want.
charging pads that they put in those are always like cheap and slow as crap anyway,
Well, or they don't work. Like the
or they
one
don't
the
work
one that
properly.
we had on the couch at the old house, it had a wireless
Hmm.
charging pad, but because of the upholstery made it too thick.
Yep.
And it's like,
Or like, and if you add any sort of case on it, it's definitely not going to
yeah.
work.
I've actually
And
I have actually considered uh doing that kind of a mod to my desk, because they
yeah.
make under desk wireless chargers
Yep.
that you have to be a certain thickness. So usually you have to take a router if it's a thicker desk and route out
Yep.
a section of it.
Which I
But
have a router. Pretty
yeah,
easy to do.
um, and then you just screw it into place, and that's about it. The only thing is, yeah, the only problem with that is I would just be worried because it has to be pretty thin. I'd be worried like setting
Yeah.
something on it and it cracking, which would be very
Yeah.
not ideal. But also, you'd also have to account for the mouse pad, or, rather the desk pad on that thing, because it's
Yeah.
huge. But LTT desk pads are nice, by the way.
Yeah. Which also, it's crazy how tech has changed even just since we were kids.
Yeah,
Because like we went from, when we were kids, the PlayStation 2 and Xbox slash 360 was coming out, to now we have phones that wirelessly charge and are more powerful than uh any of the computers or
yeah,
uh game systems that we had back then, which is
yeah.
wild.
Like
Better graphics than any TV that was out back then.
the fact that your
Uh,
phone, on average, like a new flagship device, is more powerful than the majority of smart TVs
yeah,
by itself, because a lot of smart TVs cheap out on the
yeah. A lot of
components.
smart TVs are just cheap as crap.
Yeah, which is like, I would always recommend getting, unless it's a good, like LG's pretty good about their TVs and stuff. And I do want to say the Magic Remote, the Wii Remote thing,
Yeah.
is super cool and super nice, and I'd love to
Yep.
have one. But
So like
get
the
an
funny
NVIDIA
thing is,
Shield or something. Like, you just
yeah,
plug it in. It'll be
or
so much
just
more powerful, and you can do whatever you want. You're not locked to a specific ecosystem.
yeah, or just get. I mean, you can find the little like micro PCs
Yeah, they're not that expensive.
for pretty cheap,
For like a few
and
$100, you can have something that's more powerful than any work computer you've
mhm,
probably ever used.
and you can do more on it
Yeah,
from your TV, and all you have to do is just get like a wireless keyboard or uh little remote for it,
yeah.
and then you can just control everything that way. Like once we get into a place down here, something like that would be kind of cool. I mean,
I
technically we
already
already
have one.
have
Yeah,
yeah, a little mini PC that we could just hook to the TV.
yeah.
Um
There's the one
the
downside,
downside is
like surround sound and stuff doesn't
yeah.
work the same.
Yep.
There are some workarounds for it, but you're dealing with, Windows sound crap, which isn't
Yeah.
always a great thing to work with.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would, if there's really a way to pair that to my Yamaha receiver, but there might be. There
Yeah.
might be like a USB option or something, which would be cool.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, once once you get back down here, we have all of the base stuff for the living room because I have the entertainment system.
Yeah.
I
Except a good sized
have
TV. That's kind of about it, really.
I have the couch. We just don't have a great TV, but I have a TV that's 1080p.
Yeah. The only thing I
Which
would,
works for now until we do end up getting a different TV, and then I'll just take that one and put it back in my room.
yeah,
But
the only thing I would do would be to, again, look on Facebook Marketplace or something and find
mm-hmm,
some decent surround speakers. Because
yeah,
right now, I have a center channel, a really nice Polk Audio center channel that I also got for free
yep,
from I was actually a client of my dad's, and he was quite well off, to say the least. And he was like, yeah, I really don't need these. That's where I got the ceiling speakers from that were in the shed.
yeah,
It
yep.
was all free. And which
Mm,
I kind of wish I had kept those, but also you can't really put those in rentals. So they're
yeah,
not really going to be okay with you cutting a hole in the ceiling.
yeah,
And I guess you could probably build like a a enclosure for it and kind of turn it into a bookshelf speaker, but
yeah.
also you could just find a
It'd
used
be a
speaker.
big bookshelf speaker.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be not
Um,
ideal.
but like, yeah, even like TV and stuff, but even like gaming stuff or just watches, like smartwatches,
Yeah.
where it can track your heart rate, what blood pressure and
Blood oxygen, stress
blood
level,
oxygen, yeah,
antioxidant level, let's
skin
see.
temperature.
Yeah, skin temperature, track your sleep. Let's see here. Obviously the steps and stuff, the more basic
Yeah,
of
just
things, but
a pedometer.
vascular load, which I don't exactly
I've
know
got
what
a
that is,
vascular load.
but yeah, I don't know how it measures that exactly.
Uh, but yeah, just like normal everyday things now that were like a wild concept because like even when we were little smartphones weren't even like there were Blackberries and stuff, but as far as like the first iPhone and all that kind of stuff, like the first actual smartphone
Yeah.
to now where we are with little what used to be considered a supercomputer in your pocket
Yeah.
is wild.
Well, and also just kind of thinking about, like, because I've ran, emulated games on my phone, which I have a
Mm-hmm.
S25 Ultra, which is
Yep.
a very
We
powerful phone.
we both do.
And like I had an S23 Ultra, and that, did everything I needed to perfectly fine. It's still a very powerful phone,
It's still a powerful phone, yeah.
but
Even the
holy
S22
crap,
Ultra.
the because like the jump from the 22 to the 23 wasn't, it was a jump, but it wasn't anything crazy. Actually, the biggest leap there was in the battery life. It had the
Yeah.
same size battery, but was way more efficient. And I
Yep.
think on average, the S23 got around like 20 to 25% more battery life with
Yep.
the same size battery, which is very impressive. But then
Yep.
to run I ran Geekbench on all three phones, and like the CPU performance from the 23 to the 25 is a lot better, but the GPU performance is
Mm-hmm.
like 2.5 times the power in the
Yep.
same form factor and more battery life. And so I downloaded Dying Light, the first Dying Light, and was
Yeah.
able to run that at like over 100 FPS at, I think, around medium settings. I don't remember what resolution. It might have been just 720p, which on a
Yeah.
small phone screen is fine. And other than the occasional hitches and stuff, because of the emulation can be a little
Yeah.
weird, and Dying Light is kind of like weird already because it's an older
Yeah.
game. But like I remember my first computer, the Dell workstation with the Xeon processor.
Yeah. The one that I currently have sitting back there.
Yeah. So for any of you that are into the numbers and stuff, it was a Xeon E5 1620. So the first iteration of that processor. It was an old 32 nanometer process, and it was only a 4-core 8-thread ramped up to a blistering 3.6 gigahertz. And it was paired with a 1660 Ti that had been thrown in there. It was not in there originally.
I thought it was a 5060 originally.
A 5060?
Sorry. No.
No,
Sorry,
the 10
a 1050 Ti.
the 1050, is it a 1050 or 1050 Ti?
It's a 1050 Ti.
Okay, that one came in the other computer, the i7 7700.
Okay. And then you swapped it.
Yeah,
That's right.
because
I
it
do
was
remember that now.
way more powerful. And then you got the Dell computer with the 1050 Ti, and like
Yeah.
that computer's biggest weakness was the CPU. That
Yeah.
1660 Ti is still very capable at a lot of games, especially if you don't care about brand new games.
I mean, even at 14, because like for the majority of the time that you've been back up in Oregon, like I've been playing on a 1440p monitor with the games at 1440 medium settings,
Well, that's what I was doing,
and
because
it's like it's still capable. It's still
yeah,
doing that. The biggest weakness is the VRAM.
yeah, in certain games, yeah.
But like it's very capable of still playing AAA titles at 1440 medium settings.
Yeah. Yeah. Not like super new ones, but,
Not super new, but
and
still like
obviously you
the
don't have
popular games.
DLSS and stuff to help you out. But like I was doing
Yeah.
the same thing, because when I first started building my main rig that's still with you,
Yep.
it had 5900X, 32 gigs of RAM, pretty much all SSD storage. And the GPU upgrade was the last thing that I wanted to do, but I just didn't have, the $800 to $1,000 to drop on a new GPU at the time.
Yep.
Because I wanted to get something high end, which is why when I got my taxes back, got screwed over on that, and then uh, bought the 3080. And
Yep.
then that's been, I mean, it's still a good card. It just is easily outperformed by a lot of the newer cards,
Yeah.
which, like, if I had just waited
That's the thing though, is like for even
a
more
little
modern
bit
games, because
longer,
it's not like you play a ton of like really crazy good looking story games. And
I
so
just don't
like
play a whole lot of story games in general.
for all the stuff that we play, it's
Yeah.
still
I mean,
like perfectly sufficient and above what's needed.
yeah, Dead by Daylight getting a locked 120 without any
Yep.
upscaling at ultra settings at what,
Yep.
about 70-ish% GPU utilization is
Yep.
perfectly fine.
Yep.
And there's the other games that we play that, but they're usually not either that well optimized or they're just really easy to run. Like Repo
Yeah.
is
Yep.
really pretty easy to run.
Yeah.
Lethal Company is just kind of weird sometimes, depending on the map.
Yeah.
I feel like it actually has gotten less optimized as more things been
Like
added
even
to
things
it. But
like Rocket League or Apex or
yeah, esports titles
uh
are, yeah, not
yeah.
really even a problem.
Yeah. And so like it it's really not like worth upgrading what you currently have because it's
No.
still perfectly capable of doing
Well,
everything. It would be worth upgrading for me just because I still have a 1660 Ti
yeah.
and my CPU is outclassing it by
Well, your CPU is going to pretty
a
much
lot.
outclass any GPU, but it's also it's always dependent on the game.
Yeah.
Like, if you're getting CPU bound in a game, unless it's something like Microsoft Flight Simulator or whatever, you're
Yeah.
probably going to be in the hundreds of frames per second, which is going to
Yeah.
be more than fine. If
Yep.
if you're complaining, oh, I have a 240 hertz monitor, and I'm only getting 220 FPS, and
Yeah, because I have a 70
9800 X3D.
no, I have a 9800 X3D because I was looking at the 7800 X3D.
Yeah, and then I was like, you might as
Um,
well spend a little extra and just get a
yeah.
generation newer. Which there's not a
I mean,
huge
it's
difference
not a
between
huge
them.
performance difference, but it's might
Yeah.
as well get the last few percentage out of it for the price.
Yeah. Well, and then now they have a 9850 X3D as
Yeah,
well, along with
which
they
isn't
also,
which also isn't a huge bump over what I currently have
no, I think it's
either.
pretty much just like I might be wrong here, but I think it's more along the lines of just a binned 9800 X3D. Like
Yeah,
I think there might be a little bit more 3D V cache, but
yeah,
more or less it's just a binned, which for
yeah,
those of you who don't know what binned means, it's they go through, because when you make a CPU, there's a such thing as silicon lottery. So the actual silicon that they use to make the chip is organic. And in the process of doing all of it is random. So
yeah,
they're put into different CPUs and stuff because like the same wafer, giant wafer that's used to make a 14900 KS or whatever will have a 14900 KS and a 14100, i3 or whatever. And it's just based off of how much of what they were trying to print essentially made it. And then
yeah,
also, even within the same CPUs, you will have variants just based off of silicon lottery. Like some you can overclock to hell and back, and some you can't even get anything over stock. And it's just dependent. It's with that on all components, pretty much. GPU,
yeah.
memory as well. It's just all about the silicon, man, which is weird to think about.
Nah,
But
dude, it's all about the Benjamins. What are you talking about? Or all
also,
about the Pentiums if you're Weird Al.
but
All about the Pentiums.
they also,
Yeah.
AMD had released what is it? They call it the 9950 X3D V2 or something. Because the original 9950 X3D is a
Yeah.
16 core processor, 32 thread, but only half the cores had Vcache, 3D Vcache, which is what helps in games. It's a lot of level 3 cache on the CPU. And games love it. But they released it with only half. And so sometimes Windows would be not putting those cores to work on the game, and you'd get weird problems and stuff. And so you'd just be better off with a 9800X 3D.
Yeah.
And then so they re-released it with adding 3D V-Cache to both chips on there.
Yeah.
And it's a ridiculously powerful CPU, because not only is it really good at gaming, but it's a 16 core processor that, rips.
Yeah.
And, if you're
I
needing
just
a
think it's
desktop CPU that can do all that stuff, that's what to go with, especially since the
yeah.
high-end desktop platform kind of died.
I think it's so funny that, you know, I grew up on, PS1, PS2, which you did too, to an extent. Or
PS1, yeah.
like yeah, and like Xbox. You had an Xbox 360 when
Yeah.
you were younger for a while. I didn't have a 360 till the Series X, or not the Series X, the Xbox One X had already come out, because
Yeah.
somebody that we knew had one and they didn't use it, so they're like, "You want it?" And I'm like, "Sure," because the part of the reason why they gave it to me is because the disc reader didn't want to work sometimes. And the only game that I ever really had a ton of issues with it reading was Call of Duty Ghosts. Aside from that, like,
Yeah, I
it would
don't.
read every other game fine, but with Call of Duty Ghosts, sometimes I'd have to like eject it,
Yeah,
put it
which
back
was the
in,
most
and it would
unfortunate one to have
read.
it not read, because that was the one we
Yeah, because
played
that's
the
the one that we
most.
played all the time. Because like I used to take my Xbox before his family ended up getting an Xbox. Take uh I would take my Xbox over to his place, and we'd do couch co-op and play Call of Duty Ghosts like against bots, because I was too poor to have Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah.
And so we'd play against bots, but also we'd play Extinction too, which I still think Extinction is an underrated game mode.
Well,
But
Ghosts in general is, I think, quite
an
underrated.
underrated game.
Yeah,
Like
like it's not
I
amazing.
see
It's
I
not
enjoy the
amazing.
Ghost. I enjoy the Ghost campaign, but
Yeah.
there's just something about Ghost's multiplayer that's just fun, and like it's a decent looking game even on the 360. Like it like it's dated
It's.
for sure.
I think if I think if I were to buy it on PC, I would enjoy it more, because I remember how rough the split screen was, especially at your
Well,
place
I'm just meaning
in
the
on the
like
small
graphic
TV.
quality in
Remember
general.
that on your
Yeah.
small like 20-inch or 24-inch TV, and playing
Yeah.
split screen on that,
Yeah, that
and it
was
was
rough.
so rough because it was already, you know, I highly doubt it was even 1080p. Uh, and when you're split screen, your FOV is even narrower. Either, you're
Yeah.
more square or really wide, and you can't look up very much.
Yeah.
But when it's really wide, top and bottom, the FOV is like increased, and
Yeah.
so things that are distant look a lot farther away, and so you're
Yeah.
literally like
Yeah.
pixel peeping to try and look at stuff, especially since a lot of the maps were a bit more kind of bland on color. Like, it's not what a lot of the maps are now, where
I
there's
either that or they were too colorful. Like certain
yeah,
maps were like uh a lot of green.
a
And a
lot of
lot of like
green,
moving leaves and stuff
gray,
like that.
brown, a lot of very neutral colors,
Mm-hmm.
um, and not very many bright colors. And so trying to see people was,
Yeah.
or I guess bots rather,
Yeah.
was quite the task.
We had a lot of good time on Ghosts though. That was a good time. But like
Do you remember when we,
even just looking back at like PlayStation 2, because that's the main console that I played, because my dad had one out in the living room, and I had one that would sometimes choose to work. It was the Gen 1 PS2,
mhm.
and so it was the big chonky boy, and would choose to work sometimes, and others it wouldn't. But my dad had the PS2 Slim out in the living room, and so like I grew up playing a lot of games on that, like the original Ghost Recons or Tomb Raider or Medal of Honor, which also Medal of Honor was fantastic back then. I PlayStation 2, I would take Medal of Honor over Call of Duty, honestly. Medal of Honor Vanguard, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, Medal of Honor. Um,
Yeah,
but
I never got to do a lot of that stuff. Like I
yeah,
had on the original
Red
PlayStation,
Faction.
uh, Metal Gear Solid, I believe the
Yeah,
first one.
we also had that. We also had Unreal Tournament.
Yeah. I also had Tomb Raider, the first
Yeah,
Tomb Raider.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We had the first two.
and my parents were very strict and kind of
Yeah.
like almost like red pilled when it came to technology and stuff, which is so weird how they were so weird about it then. And then after I was no longer a kid and my younger sister was still a kid, they were like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, just let her do whatever. No screen time limit. You can have a
Yeah.
smartphone at 13, a nice smartphone, mind you. Like I was
That you
stuck
can
with,
break and we'll replace it.
yeah, you can drop it in a can of paint and break it, which is a true story. She literally had a paint can sitting on the floor and set her phone on the bathroom vanity, and she like smacked her phone or something, and it landed in the can of paint and covered in it. So I was like, crap. So I rinsed it
Uh,
off and everything, and it was a S20.
wasn't it an S23?
Uh, I don't know. I think it was an S22, just the regular
Oh,
S22, or
yeah.
maybe a 21. I don't really remember. She had it for a while. Um, and apparently, something about it was not waterproof. I don't know why, because it should have been.
Well, that's the thing is like paint's thick too.
Well, it wasn't the paint. It wasn't the paint that got inside of it. It was the rinsing off the paint. And there was moisture on the
Oh,
underside of the
okay.
cameras and everything, and
Yeah.
it did not
Well,
turn back on. And no, it did turn back on, but the screen wasn't working. And it
yeah.
like it was almost like
Lole, lole, lole.
yeah, it was almost like how on a LCD panel, when the backlight goes out, but you can like shine a
Yeah.
flashlight over it and still see it. Although
Yeah.
this is an OLED panel, so there is no
Yeah.
backlight, but that's how it was behaving. Like it was super dim and hard to
Yeah.
see. I've never had seen one do that before. Very strange, but yeah, it was not waterproof. And I just rinsed it off in the sink. Like I didn't let it sit in water or anything, rinsed all the paint off, tried to, rinse it out of the charging port and the speaker grill and everything, since the entire thing got dunked in white
Remember,
paint.
kids, rinse off your technology. It'll clean it and make it run faster.
See, I have not had any issues. I don't know how other people are so unlucky, or maybe it's just that I am very lucky when it comes to it. I don't know, but I have had,
Yeah.
gotten water on my phone, or like my watch I take in the shower. I
Yeah.
don't care. Like even my previous watch, my Galaxy Watch 4 has been fully submersed hundreds of times, in the shower, everywhere. All the dust has, no issues at all. At all. And other people, either friends or family, will like, oops, I dropped my phone in the pool once, or rinsed
Yeah.
off my phone and now it actually bricked itself. I don't understand
Yeah.
how I don't get how that happens. Because like at least in your case with your iPhone, like it was the fact it had been repaired and the seal was like not properly put in or
Yeah.
something. But like my sister's phone has never been opened up.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the seal just got old, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not that old of a phone, at least at the time of that. So I don't know. It was really quite strange. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, then they
For
bought
the
her like a Pixel
for
9 Pro or
context,
whatever.
for context, I came down here on vacation because I was still living in Oregon at the time, but I was on vacation down in South Carolina for like a week and a half or so, and
That was graceful.
my aunt and uncle have a swimming pool, like an in-ground swimming pool in their backyard, and I had changed into my swim trunks, and I don't even remember putting my phone in the pocket because I remember distinctly being like, all right, I need to make sure not to put my phone in my pocket because I will forget about it before I get in the pool. I get in the pool, I'm swimming around, I feel something, or I hadn't even started swimming yet. I got in the pool, and as no sooner than I got in the water did I realize that I was still feeling my phone in my pocket. I'm like, so I got out, I put it immediately in a bag of rice, even though, it's supposed to be waterproof.
Water
And
resistant specifically.
up to a certain depth, yeah.
IP68 usually is a meter of water for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Which like
Fully submersed.
I was still in the I literally was stepping off the stairs.
Yeah.
So it was not very deep and it was not in there for very long. And so I put it in rice and it was in there for like 24 hours. I grabbed it out of the rice, went to power it on, and just the screen just flickered and then wouldn't come on.
Yep.
So I had to get a replacement, which fortunately I was paying for like the insurance for it.
Yeah.
And so
The Apple Care
for
or
like
whatever.
yeah, for like $50 they just replaced the phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a bad time. I was not happy.
That's the one thing that I hate about like buying a new phone is because they always ask you because you can't
Yep.
usually add it on after the fact. And it's like,
Yep.
an extra 15 or $20 a month just in case
Yep.
you do something to your phone.
For me it's like an extra 3, I think.
With I think through Verizon. Oh,
Yeah, I have
speaking of
AT&T.
Verizon, they just
I
got
think
my
it's
payment.
I think it's like 3 or maybe $5 extra a month.
I think it was
with AT&T.
another 15 or something just for that phone.
Hmm.
Also, I'm on my own account, so I don't know if that makes a
Fair.
difference. I don't have multiple lines.
I,
But
I wouldn't I wouldn't think it'd make a difference with insurance. Obviously it would with like multi-line discounts and stuff,
yeah,
but as far as insurance, I wouldn't think it would. But yeah, it's not that much for even for this phone. It was like an added $4 a month or something like that when I got my S25 Ultra.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's funny to see how stuff like that has changed over time. But it's funny because we had touched on this briefly because I also downloaded an emulator on my phone, and I had downloaded Doom 2016 and uh Tomb Raider,
Yep.
which I think is also 2016. Um
That'd
and or
be
2014,
Rise
I
of the
think.
Tomb Raider or Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider.
Just Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider, yeah. Um the first of the trilogy. Um
Oh, the first of the original 3, right?
well, second to original. The original was a console, but as far as like the newer reboots go. Um, but so I downloaded that and I was
Good
playing.
God, there is so many releases of Tomb Raider. Oh my
Oh yeah.
God.
But like I downloaded that on the emulator and was playing that at ultra settings at a locked 60 on my phone.
Yeah.
And with Doom 2016 at ultra settings, uh I think I was still at like a pretty stable 58 frames per second, and that was just because I was testing. Like I probably like if I was actually trying to play it, I would have probably knocked it down to maybe probably medium graphics settings and turned off a couple of things that don't really make much of a difference but have, you know, an impact.
Yeah.
Um and it when I did that, when I lowered it down to like medium graphics settings, I think I was hitting like 85 on Doom,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's perfectly playable.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
or
no.
no, I think when I knocked it down to medium settings, uh, I think I was hitting like 95 to 100.
Hmm.
I'd have to go back and check. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. But I tested a few different games. The only thing that sucks with emulation is, uh, like you can't really play mobile games. Or not mobile. You can't really play online games very well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it doesn't really work.
Because especially now with like all the anti-cheat stuff that's tied to Windows and whatever. If you
Yeah.
don't have a Windows device, you can't play it. But like it's shocking that my phone is playing those games better than that other Dell PC, because with the Xeon and the 1050 Ti,
Yeah.
uh when I first got Tomb Raider, because I think I got it for free off of like a Prime Gaming deal or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I'd linked my or Twitch Gaming. I had linked my account to Amazon because my parents were paying for Prime, and got some free games that way along with other DLC stuff for free. And that computer at like low to medium settings, first off looks terrible, but uh that computer I think was hitting a max of like 42, 44 frames per second
Yeah.
in like, less taxing places in the map or whatever. And uh when I was in fights, it was stuttering like crazy. I beat the game that way the first time I played, and it was horrible. And my phone can play that game infinitely better with top quality.
Yeah.
And it's like I have no doubt that if I lowered the quality settings all the way down on my phone, uh that it would easily be hitting 120
Yeah.
or close to it, which is, the refresh rate of my phone. Um but yeah, like it's crazy how that stuff has changed so much to where this tiny thing in comparison to that whole computer is packing some heat
Yeah.
when it comes to gaming performance, and the GPU in my phone is better.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy about it is the GPU that's in your phone. It's hard to like give a desktop GPU equivalent,
Yeah.
just because of the differences in architecture. But
Yeah.
kind of sits around the like GTX 1060 to like 1660 level performance,
Yeah.
depending on what you're doing. Which is
Yeah.
crazy that that's crammed into a phone,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, there's 1060 is the most uh, popular GPU, I think, of all time,
Yeah.
because it was at a good price. It played games 1080p just fine at the time. Obviously, games have gotten a little bit more complicated since then, but
Yeah.
uh, it did everything you really needed it to do.
Yeah.
And they had the 3 gig and the 6 gig. The 3 gig was kind of a joke. The 6 gig was actually worth it. And that, I think, still, what does Steam say the most used GPU is? It's probably going to still be a 1060.
The most beloved would be the 1080.
Oh, July of 2026 is the 3060, which remains
Mm.
a top individual graphics card choice with a 3.71% share.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy that that is, just sitting in this thin, small, pocketable phone.
Oh wow, the 16 or the 1060 has really come way down on how much it's used. It's the desktop 3060, and then next in line
Yeah.
is a 4060 laptop, and then a 4060, and then a
Yeah.
5070. Is
Yeah.
that
Almost because
reading? Oh, that is in order. Wow.
5070s are good.
Oh,
5070 Ti's are way better. But like, I really would like to get a 5070 Ti. I'd
dude,
really love to get a 5080.
there's
But
a GeForce 405 at the bottom of the list. Yeah, I don't. Someone apparently is running a GeForce 7300 GS. That's an old card.
yeah.
Huh. That's surprising. There are still some people that use Steam that opt into uh the survey thing that are using
Yeah.
that old of a card. I don't know why, but yeah,
There's like
interesting.
my little brother on my mom's computer using the 6060 or the
660
660.
GT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
I need to get to work
Yep.
in less than an hour, so we should probably wrap this up. But
I get to go
thank
cut
you guys.
limbs.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you guys for joining. Yeah, if you liked what you listened to, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment down in the comment section.
yeah.
What kind of computer specs are you guys running?
Or what are your
And
favorite bits of technology or little niche things here and there,
yeah, what kind of gaming did you do growing up?
or lack thereof?
Um, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll catch you next week on Monday. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye.